this video we are going to see the frequently asked gate question in operating system. So I have covered 3 questions under single topic, the most important topic in which you can get at least one question every year. The topic is how CPU handles an interrupt. Before going to the video, I want to tell one thing. Please subscribe to get more videos. I am covering all the questions in the previous year gate question papers in all the subjects. I have previous videos in computer networks and I am moving to the next subject, operating systems. So this is my second video in operating systems. If you have any doubt, please let me know through the comment section. I'm happy to answer, and I will answer within a week. So as I said, this is the most important concept and you have at least one question in the gate question paper. So far I have collected all the question papers and I take a list of the questions from the operating system. I came to know at least one question will be there under this topic. So this is the most important video. Hope you should watch this completely. And the topics covered under this concept is kernel mode, user mode, privileged and non-privileged modes. Before understanding the concept, let's see what are the questions have been asked. First question is, CPU has two modes, privileged and non-privileged. In order to change the mode from privileged to non-privileged, what we need? Hardware interrupt, software interrupt, privileged instruction, a non-privileged instruction. This question is asked in the year 2001 and 2003. A processor needs a software interrupt. This is the next question. So a processor needs software interrupt to test the interrupt system of the processor, implement coroutines, obtain system services which need execution of privileged instructions, return from subroutine. So this is also asked twice, in the year 2001 and 1999. So this is another one more question. System calls are usually invoked by using System calls are usually invoked by using a software interrupt, polling, and indirect jump, a privileged instruction. So this is also asked in 2 times, 1999 and 2001. So in 2001 you got 3 questions. So each question paper will have at least one question under this concept. So please clear with the concept. Let's see the concept, then you can easily understand the answer. Answer by yourself. So all these 3 questions cover a single question. What is interrupt? An interrupt is a software interrupt or hardware interrupt, that is a signal sent to the CPU requesting the CPU to perform certain activity. So because CPU is a multitasking unit, it will perform many tasks at a time and it will perform the jobs only by scheduling algorithms. So if you want a job to be done at the time of instant, it should be sent as an interrupt signal. So in case of software is nothing but user-side applications. For easy understanding, I am telling, take an example, a program. You are running a program and you are requesting, while running a program, you need an input from the user. So user will enter the input through keyboard. You cannot get directly from the keyboard, get that input directly from the keyboard. It will pass through the CPU. So at that time you need that input. You cannot wait in a queue to be get from the CPU, so that the CPU will work along the scheduling algorithms. So you cannot wait in a queue for the scheduling algorithms, then take the input, then process, then run your program. You need at that time. So for that, what you need, you send an interrupt signal, like software interrupt signal to the CPU. That interrupt signal, what will happen means, once receiving that signal, the CPU stop all the activity. It just take the input from the keyboard and send it to your program. After sending, it will continue its work. This is what exactly happened. In case of hardware means getting data or sending data to the memory. So here also you can take an example. You need to take a printout, any file or a page. So that page will be in the memory. So what will happen? The hardware, the printer will send a signal to the CPU. On seeing that signal, the CPU stop all its activities. It will give its control to that hardware drive. Each hardware device is connected to a hardware drive in the CPU. So that hardware drive comes in action. It will see the request. Then it will take the data from the memory and send it to the printer. The printer will take the printout. Then the control is given back to the CPU. This is what exactly happens when an interrupt reaches a CPU. So in this case you need to know about two things. One is user mode. Before going to that, there is also another type of interrupt that is called a trap. This is usually sent to the CPU whenever a system sees some error, that is system error, or in a program means you will be having some default error handling, try and catchy error handling mechanism, right? So on seeing those programs, they are to handle the error, a trap is sent to the CPU. So this is just for understanding purpose I'm telling. But the most important thing is software interrupt and hardware interrupt. Okay. Apart from this, why we are sending an interrupt to the CPU? What actually happened within the CPU? That one we have to understand. So usually when a user is running a program, the system will be in user mode, and that means whenever you switch on the system, the booting will the system will take time for booting. After booting is completed, the control is moved to the user mode. Before booting, while booting the system, the control will be in kernel mode. After booting the system, the control moves to user mode. So at the user mode only you can use your system. You can read any book in your system. You can listen any music from your system. You can type anything in the Word document. You can do anything in your PowerPoint like that. All these things comes under user mode. And so after rebooting the user mode, and user gets all the control. Now the user is running an application. As I said earlier, if he is using a if he is running a program and he needs input, all this all the instructions that are working in the user mode are called non-privileged instructions. Either the program instruction, the Word document instruction, anything. All these things are in the user mode are called non-privileged instructions. So when a user needs to get input from the keyboard, he cannot directly access the keyboard. So he just send a software interrupt to the CPU. That software interrupt invokes a system call. In that system call, the request, that is we need to get a input from the keyboard. That request will be there. So what happens? The mode bit is changes from 0 to 1. The kernel mode comes in action. This kernel mode will takes the control and read the system call. Read the request in the system call. We need to get input from the keyboard. Suddenly what happens? The OS will take the input entered by the user from the keyboard and give to the user. Once it finishes its work, the bit is changes from 1 to 0 in the kernel side and 0 to 1 in the user side, because the control is moving back to user mode. Where the control is running, who is running the who is taking the control, the bit will be 1. So here the kernel mode the bit is 1. After sending the data, the kernel mode switches the control to the user mode. So here the bit changes to 0. In user mode the bit changes to 1. And the data is sent back to the user. Now the user will run his application, run his program. So whenever a user mode is whenever a user mode needs a job to be done by the OS, he sends a software interrupt that invokes a system call. By reading that system call, the mode changes to kernel mode. The kernel mode, after finishing its work, it returns back its control to the user mode. Here what happens when the control changes from kernel mode to user mode, a non-privileged instruction is sent to the user mode, telling the control is changing. So whenever the mode is changes from kernel to user or privileged to non-privileged mode, a non-privileged instruction is given back. Whenever the mode is changes from user to kernel, a software interrupt is given, or a hardware interrupt, software interrupt is given that will invoke a system call. So this is the actual concept. So let's move to the question. System calls are usually invoked by, as I said, software interrupt. So that is user mode gives a software interrupt that will invoke a system call having the request about the job has to be done in the kernel mode. A processor needs software interrupt to get some system service, that is asking the operating system to do some work. So obtain system service which need execution of privileged instruction, that is in the kernel mode. So a user cannot directly access the privileged instructions, cannot directly do the work in kernel mode. So using software interrupt, he get the system services in the privileged, that is execute by which need execution of the privileged instruction. And here CPU has two modes now. To change the mode from privileged to non-privileged mode, that is kernel mode to user mode, we need a non-privileged instruction. So that's all. By understanding single concept, you can answer all these three questions. And as I say, if you are clear with that concept, as I said, what is interrupt, and so we have two types: software, hardware interrupts, and one more thing is trap. And then we have two modes: user mode, kernel mode, and all these workings. By understanding all these workings, we can answer at least one question in the GATE question paper. And covering under this concept exactly with this diagram, user mode and kernel mode, we are having one question that is repeatedly asked 4 times. That question will be explained in my next video, so please subscribe. Thank you.